gentlemen, welcome to 2025 Fire School. We would invite all of you to be seated. I appreciate the quietness now, and now that you've been seated, I'll ask you to rise for the posting of the colors of the honor guard.
All uniform personnel, present. Oh. Look out. Face.
We invite all of you to be seated. And now we'll ask Pastor Doodle to come to our invocation.
Good morning, everyone. Let us pray. Dear God, our Father, we come before you yet again to give you glory, to give you honor, to say thank you for the rain, thank you for the cool temperature, thank you for the breeze. Then we thank you for these men and women that have come, that they may be trained up, that they will continue to be the best in the country. We thank you for the educators, the trainers that come and pour into these firefighters so that they can be the best for their communities. We're thankful for the fire departments, the fire districts, the chiefs that support this effort, that they can serve their communities better. Then God, we also pray for their safety, for those men and women that are willing to risk their lives to save lives. Pray comfort for their families that are concerned about their spouses or their parents as they're leaving to serve this community. And then God, while they're here, we just ask that their focus will be on the training that they will be receiving so that they can once again go out and serve the community and take care of themselves. For 52 years, you've allowed this state fire school to be in existence, and we're grateful for those that sponsor, those that support. So while they're here, we just ask that they're safe, that they learn, that they share. And then, Father God, I pray for the families of those that have lost loved ones in this past year, that they will find comfort. We give you glory, we give you honor, and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
We will now recognize those members of the Arizona Fire Service that have passed away in the last year. Shane Gage, Copper Canyon Fire and Medical Authority.
Paul Sanders, Flagstaff Fire Department.
Brendan B.J. Cook, Gilbert Fire Department.
Joey Counts, Gilbert Fire Department.
Robert Bob Kessler, Glendale Fire Department.
Max Sine Sr., Glendale Fire Department.
Richard Troy Boyer, Mesa Fire and Medical Department.
Reyes Jimenez, Mesa Fire and Medical Department.
Stephen Waters, Mesa Fire and Medical Department.
Philip Phil Henriksen Bell, Phoenix Fire Department.
Floyd Dennis Denny Callahan, Phoenix Fire Department.
Thomas Charles Campbell Jr., Phoenix Fire Department.
Adam Tyler Kaufman, Phoenix Fire Department.
William Bill Francis Cole, Phoenix Fire Department.
Lawrence Larry Ray Contreras, Phoenix Fire Department.
Daniel William Crowley, Phoenix Fire Department.
Larry DeWitt, Phoenix Fire Department.
Robert Bob Donnell, Phoenix Fire Department.
Tom Dreifhout, Phoenix Fire Department.
Nedward Ned Bruce Dunnington, Phoenix Fire Department.
Tony Eberhardt, Phoenix Fire Department.
Richard Dick Gondara, Phoenix Fire Department.
Max G. Hyatt Jr., Phoenix Fire Department.
Donald Linton Jones Jr., Phoenix Fire Department.
Donald Moeller, Phoenix Fire Department.
Jesse Pierce, Phoenix Fire Department.
Ronald Pope, Phoenix Fire Department.
Timothy Tim Patrick Smothers, Phoenix Fire Department.
John Eric Thomason Sr., Phoenix Fire Department.
Jared Gerald Roy White, Phoenix Fire Department.
Donald Edward Williams, Phoenix Fire Department.
Charles Timothy Tim Young, Phoenix Fire Department.
Russell Jewell, Pine Top Fire Department.
Les Dial, Portal Fire and Rescue.
Dylan Wallace, Prescott Fire Department.
Casey Curtis, Rural Metro Fire Department.
Steve Fisher, Rural Metro Fire Department.
Richard Rick Staub, Rural Metro Fire Department.
Kurt Oberdries, Rural Metro Fire Department, Northwest Fire District.
Bill Bowler, Sedona Fire District, Verde Valley Fire District.
Jeff Heinrichs, Superstition Fire and Medical District, Mesa Fire and Medical Department, Daisy Mountain Fire and Medical District.
Lawrence Burkett, Tucson Fire Department.
Glenn Carlton, Tucson Fire Department.
Scott Kraus, Tucson Fire Department.
Gail Page, Tucson Fire Department.
Patrick Quinn, Tucson Fire Department.
Frank Santoro, Tucson Fire Department.
Warren Ivan Schumacher, Tucson Fire Department.
Ed Stevens, Tucson Fire Department. Would all uniformed personnel please rise? The men and women of today's fire service are confronted with a more dangerous work environment than ever before. We are forced to continually change our strategies and tactics to accomplish our tasks. Our methods may change, but our goals remain the same as they were in the past, to save lives and to protect property, sometimes at a terrible cost. This is what we do. This is our chosen profession. This is the tradition of the firefighter. The fire service of today is ever-changing, but it is steeped in traditions 200 years old. One such tradition is the sounding of the bell. It was the bell that signaled the start of the day of duty. Through the days and nights, each alarm was sounded by a bell. It called them to fight fires and to place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow man. And when the fire was out and the alarm had been completed, it was the bell that signaled its end. When a firefighter died in the line of duty, paying the supreme sacrifice, it is the mournful toll of the bell that solemnly announced a comrade's passing. We seek strong words and symbols that give us a better understanding of our feelings when we experience a loss. And we use these words and symbols to reflect the devotion our brothers and sisters had for their duties. The sounding of the bell, a special signal of 3 rings, 3 times each, represented the end of their duties and that they were returning to quarters. And now for
Mark Keller, Mesa Fire Department.
Anthony Mock, Phoenix Fire Department.
And Scott Latham, Tempe Fire Department.
Who have completed their tasks, their duties well done. They have given their best. For our brothers, their last alarm. They have gone home.
Detail, that's it. Oh. All uniform personnel, present arms. Order, arms. Ceremonial, rest.
How about let's give that avant-garde a round of applause. My name is Clay Wood. I'm the MC this year. I'm with Timber Mesa Farm Medical District and love working for that organization just as I hope you love working for your organization. We are so glad you're here. We have in the neighborhood of 800 students this year. It's a great year, so each one of you should be, as part of that group of almost 800, be proud of yourselves. What a win that is for you and for the state and for Fire School, as well as your communities. A couple of things that I'd like to mention today is we get the house lights for a second. How many first-time attendees are out here? Wait till we get the lights on. How many first-time? Anybody? Quite a few of you. While you're here, think about your communities that you represent and think about why you're here and the importance of firefighter training and the opportunities that we have to come here for this annual event. There are so many things that you just don't get elsewhere, and so we're really grateful for the instructors that spend their time being here, committee members, for your communities supporting you, and also for the many people that just make this event happen. One of those is Mesa Community and Tourism. They put a lot of effort in Fire School, and they work kind of in the background, and nobody really knows what they do or how they do it, but they're a big sponsor in this, as is the Mesa Community Center, and for the work that they do here, so we appreciate each one of them. We also have a group here called the part of the Arizona Fire Chiefs. It's the New Chief Seminar, and so while we have students from pretty much every rank that's here today, we also have chief officers that will be here receiving training as well, so we're grateful to have that. One of the things that I'll mention to you is be mindful of who you are and who you represent. Your communities may love you, your families may love you, fellow firefighters may love you, but cops don't. So, be on your best behavior because they don't care that you're a firefighter. With that, there's a couple of events that I would like to mention that we have going on this week while you're here. So tonight, Thursday night, there will be a Hall of Fame event. Thank you. There's a Hall of Fame event, and that's a fantastic opportunity. There's going to be some inductees that we have today, and then tonight at 6:30 they'll have a plaque hanging in the Hall of Fame. So we'd invite you to be there. There's no charge for students. Also, tonight there's football in the lobby, and I don't know if there's any America's Teams fans here. Few in the house. Some don't. Look, everybody's an American Teams fan. You just don't always admit it in public. But the Cowboys and the Eagles will be playing, so we'd invite you to be part of that. And then, right, the city of Mesa has a lot of other events that are going to be posted. If we can go back one slide, I would like to show you, these are all of our off-sites. And so it takes a partnership, and if you look at all these training facilities that we're going to be attending that are scattered across the valley, what a good partnership we have with them just to allow Fire School to take place and for you to be there. So we'll have this slide up again at the end. In case you don't know where you're at or where you need to go, at the end of this ceremony, you can come up to the front or out by the t-shirts and somebody will give you direction. So now we'll go to Friday night. Friday night is a fantastic event that we have here. It is loaded with fun. We'll just be out here to the side. There'll be a number of food vendors there. There's some show and tell, maybe some antique trucks, a couple of new trucks will be there, some apparatus vendors. Then also, I think there's some face painting. And it is very family friendly, so we would love to have you at that event. And then moving on to Saturday night, this is a big night for us. This is a major night for fundraising. It's the raffle. If some of you have never been there, it will be an experience you'll never forget. So we would encourage you to be there. Please know, kids under 16, there's a reason for that. And this year, we have the best mustache contest. This is non-gender specific, so anybody can participate. And there should be a lot of good entertaining moments to see that you have the best mustache. Proceeds from this event come back to Fire School directly, so it really is an opportunity to be able to socialize and have a good time. That'll start at 6 p.m. It's usually over in the neighborhood of 7:30. We'll have raffles, and we'll also have some auctions and a lot of fun that'll be had there. We also have t-shirt booth out here in the front that we encourage you to buy t-shirts, raffle tickets, there's challenge coins, and so again, everything that we do stays right here, coming back to the community for Fire School. With that, I'm now going to turn some time over to our committee chairman, Chief Dan Bramble.
Good morning. Welcome to the 2025 Arizona State Fire School. My name is Dan Bramwell. I'm the battalion chief of the Payson Fire Department and the current outgoing chairperson of the State Fire Training Committee. I'd like to thank the City of Mesa, the Mesa Fire Department, and the combined Honor Guard for everything they do to make this event happen every year. If your heart did not stir within you when you heard those pipes and drums, I would ask, are you even human? Thank you very much for all the members that put that together today. It takes so much work, and I'm so grateful and humbled to be a part of that. I'd like to thank the Phoenix Mesa Delta Hotel and all the surrounding Valley Fire Departments, such as Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, Gilbert, Chandler, and all the other businesses and organizations that donate the time and resources that give us the best training environment possible every September since 1973. Thank you also to the organizations and fire departments from around the state that support this by sending their members here, as well as supporting the volunteer fire professionals on the training committee that have planned and executed this event for 52 years. We are a group of no more than 56 people from around the state, supported by at least that number of organizations and departments. They collectively plan, organize, and make this event happen. Committee members, they're sat right over here. Please rise. I'd like to hand for the committee members for all the work they put in. I'm so grateful and humbled to be a part of this organization. I cannot ever imagine a better group of people and a better event to be a part of than this one. I'd also like to thank Chief Clay Wood for being the MC. The MC doesn't get thanked very often, so Clay, thanks so much. We have a new partner I'd like to thank this year, Glendale Community College, all the way from the west side. We have the college president, Dr. Tiffany Hernandez, here today, and the Dean of Instruction, Dr. Susan Campbell, is seated right here in the center. Thank you so much for your commitment to education in Arizona and supporting our members, getting college credit for all the hard work they do here at Fire School. Glendale is a new partner, and we're just so grateful for their service and look forward to a long working relationship with them. Had an excellent piece of news for you. We have a contributor Chase building team that donated the entire lumber package for our ladder operations class and the smoke plus classes. These are real heavy lift classes that involve a lot of expense to provide the materials for our firefighters to train with over the weekend. And Chase building team stepped up to the plate, providing the entire lumber package for those two classes this year. And we are so grateful for that. So thank you to the Chase building team for that. So many people make this come together, and I thank you all. APS, Pioneer Title, the Ethel and Kemper Marley Foundation, so many other donors throughout the year that make this possible. Many thanks as well to the Arizona Firefighters Fund and our current director, Chief Eric Creever. Thank you for your continued support, Eric, as we continue this honorable mission started in 1973. This mission was started in 1973 as a way to prevent the terrible disaster like the Doxal explosion that happened in Kingman. They killed 11 firefighters that year when the propane rail car exploded. This event is a direct result of that event happening and as a way to try to prevent it in the future. Thank you for your commitment to continue this tradition. The 52nd Annual Fire School is a result of the Arizona Fire Service coming together to live the Rotarian motto of service above self. Fire School is a unique event in America. Not too many states, if any, that I know of actually do what we're doing here this weekend. We're just trying to pay it forward and make the next generation better than we were. As part of that, we're working on some good things here on the training committee in the state, including bringing back statewide outreach training to the far corners of the state. Retired Chief Tim Van Scooter is taking point on this endeavor with our ropes operations and technician classes that can be tailored to fit the needs of your organization and taught locally by our instructors for a reasonable cost. As part of this, we have purchased a new trailer, and with the help of Core Construction, Fire Truck Solutions, 1-800-BOARD-UP, and Arizona Pro Graphics, they made it possible for us to purchase this trailer and pay for the racks that went on it. And if you have a chance to go in front of the hotel, you'll see these equipment trailers that transport this equipment, and they just look absolutely outstanding. They are excellent billboards that showcase our mission on the highways and byways of our state as we're going out and training firefighters. Thank you to Chief Van Scooter for his work coordinating that. Reach out to him directly to schedule a class near you. Lastly, I'd like to take 30 seconds. Please scan the QR code on the screen right here to participate in the National Firefighter Registry of Cancer. Until this point in Arizona, we had no good way to track occupational risks and hazards of firefighters and cancer. We knew when it happened after firefighters were diagnosed, but by being a firefighter, scanning this code and registering, we can now generate good or better data than we've ever had before that tracks the relationships between our profession and the cancer that we are experiencing right now. Please scan that. Enjoy the 2025 Fire School, our number 52. Please expand your network, build relationships, meet new people from other organizations from all corners of the state this week. Put some new tools in your toolbox to help you better serve Mrs. Smith. Be sure to attend our Hall of Flame event tonight. The Friday night Tools of the Trade Expo is outstanding. Thank you for that, and I want to see you there. Stay safe, bring what you learn here back to your organizations. Teach what you learn here to somebody else, and keep making every day a training day. Thank you for making the 52nd Arizona State Fire School the best one yet.
Thank you, Dan, and man, that step gets me every time, right? So, it's a good thing we have paramedics here. So with that, we're going to take just a moment here and recognize a young lady by the name of Annie Esch. So some of you may remember Annie because 10 years ago, we brought her out here. She was a visionary for the Arizona license plate. So hopefully, well, I know it's not quite right, but there's in the neighborhood of almost 15,000 plates that have been registered in the state. So hopefully everybody in this room has at least one. If you don't, there's a fantastic opportunity for you to make that right. So with that, with the purchase of your plate, you can see that we have raised almost $239,000. That's pretty fantastic, don't you think? So Amy was going to be here, but she had a pretty critical event that she had to be to, so she can't be here today. But she will be there Saturday night at the raffle, I hope. And we have Chairman Bramble that's going to go ahead and read a message that she sent.
This is a letter that Amy sent to us on her behalf to be read here today. It's hard to believe this journey started over 12 years ago. The very first specialty license plate I encountered was the Honoring Fallen Officers plate. Seeing it on the streets sparked a cascade of questions in my mind. Is there a plate for firefighters? How do you create a specialty plate? Who benefits from the proceeds of these plates? How are those funds used? And so on. My first step was to contact ADOT. After an hour on the phone with a wonderfully helpful woman, I learned that it takes a 501c3 organization to be affiliated with the plate. While a portion of the sales go towards administrative fees, the rest go directly to the recipient organization. However, there was significant cost involved in creating the plate itself. If I remember correctly, it was about $30,000 that had to be raised just to create the plate. Despite that, I was determined to make it happen. But first, I needed to identify a 501c3 within the fire service that could serve as a recipient. From the outset, I knew that while honoring and fallen public safety members is important, I didn't want this plate to symbolize loss. Rather, I wanted it to represent prevention, ensuring that what we do, that everything we do, that we can do everything we can to protect firefighters. My search led me to the Arizona State Fire School and an article written by Chief Randy Redmond, where I discovered that funding cuts were threatening its future. The school is in dire need of funding to sustain its mission, not just now, but in the years to come. After several attempts to identify and reach the author, I decided to dig deeper into the fire school's mission, and it became clear to me that this was exactly the kind of organization this plate was for. Through a series of fortunate events and conversations, I presented the idea and was invited to speak to the executive board. To my surprise, sitting before me was the author of the article I read, Fire Chief Randy Redmond. If I ever had any doubts about whether things happen for a reason, those doubts were erased in that moment. The purpose behind this plate was never about recognition or accolades, but rather responsibility. The responsibility to support our firefighters, both urban and rural, by ensuring they have the training, resources, and tools necessary to perform their jobs with excellence and return home safely. Throughout this journey, I had the honor of meeting fire chiefs from across the state, many of whom were strangers at first, but quickly became trusted allies and lifelong friends. This project brought together people from all walks of life, unified by a single powerful purpose. In the end, what began as an idea became so much more than just a campaign. It evolved into a community. Through a collaborative effort, the license plate went through and was signed into law, but we didn't just pass a law, we created a lasting legacy. Today I have a heart full of gratitude. I am deeply honored, blessed, and humbled to have played a part in something that now supports the very core of the fire profession in Arizona, the training that saves lives. I'm incredibly thankful to all who have believed in this mission, who supported it, and who generously contributed their time, expertise, and passion to the cause. I've been privileged to work alongside such dedicated, passionate, and inspiring individuals. What I will remember most isn't just the work we did, but the relationships we built. Thanks to all of you, this license plate is more than just metal. It's a symbol of what can be done when people come together. Thank you very much, Amy.
Anyway, I appreciate you reading that, Dan. I really wish Danny could have been here, but it's a special thing for certain. And again, each one of you have the opportunity to continue moving that mission forward. We now are going to bring up retired Captain Tom Shaw. So Tom Shaw has been a 30-year instructor with the Arizona Fire School. That's quite an achievement, don't you think? So we take the time to recognize our 30-year brothers and sisters that have helped us. To my knowledge, Tom is at I think only the second one that we've been able to recognize for a full 30-year service. Thank you. We've now got several dignitaries that we're going to hear from. So we first will hear from Mayor of the City of Mesa, Mayor Mark Freeman. We invite Mayor Freeman to come forward.
This is really a humbling and excellent opportunity for me to welcome you to the City of Mesa. You're joining the City of Mesa yet? I know a lot of you from different communities. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. It's a sobering experience for myself when I hear the honor guard, only because I'm a retired Mesa Fire paramedic captain with 31 years of service and served with the When the honor guard plays, it reminds me of those who have served, those who have died, and those who are serving today. And I appreciate that because it means so much to me when I'm in your neighboring communities. I traveled to eastern Arizona just 2 days ago. I was in Big Lake, Arizona. Some of you know where that is. Here, Streeterville, Alpine, Nutrioso. I know that I'm well protected wherever I go in the state of Arizona. And that brings joy to my heart. Whether you're a career firefighter, volunteer, structural, wildland, it's so important that you pay attention to these classes. I remember as a new recruit in the early 80s, sorry to date myself, I was hired in 1980 with Mesa Fire. I attended this fire school so many different times to learn different skill sets that I could apply in my community to the people who I serve. And you know, as we go on calls within your respective shifts, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get into. And it's so important to have skills within your community, within your training, and within yourself and resources. To work as a team, whether you're providing medical services, fire, and transport, it's so important that you work together. So I really appreciate you being here. For one thing, this is Mesa's 35th year of hosting this conference. Can you believe that? 35 years here in Mesa, Arizona, and how it's been. I was just visiting with Chief Camilli. She's a great friend. She was hired 3 years after I was, but Mesa has been in the fire service for 127 years. So we're a foundational department. We're always tip of the spear. We're trying to develop and build programs. In fact, we even bought an electric fire truck 2 years ago. So don't ever do that if your budget doesn't allow you. They're kind of expensive, but they're very quiet. You don't hear them sneaking into our neighborhoods. People go, what's those red and blue lights? Where'd they come from? But regardless, I hope you have a great experience in Mesa, Arizona. I just appreciate you being here. And as the mayor of the 36th largest city in the United States, welcome to Mesa, Arizona. Have a great week.
Okay, now we'll hear from Chief Marie Camilli. She's the fire chief here in Mesa.
Thank you. I tried not to trip on the steps like Clay has been doing, so I was really cautious of that right there. Clay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor Freeman. Isn't he amazing? We have a very supportive mayor of the fire service, and we are so blessed to have him here. Do you all feel like I feel this is the best profession in the world? It truly, truly is. And we are so grateful for the training that you all get to provide, that you all get to experience over the weekend. But this doesn't happen without the training committee that put the work behind it. It is a lot of work, and it's year-round. You have full-time employees doing their job, in addition to some retirees that take time out of their very busy schedules for all of you. So I am very grateful to the committee. I know they've been thanked, but I want to make sure I do that again. Can we turn on the lights a little bit? I just want to get a flavor of the years of service that we have here that are attending the State Fire School. If we could turn up those lights, I'd like to see, by a show of hands, how many of you have less than 5 years on the job? Raise your hand. Less than 5 years on the job. Okay, thank you. How about 6 to 9? 6 to 9 years. All right? 10 to 19? Okay. How about 20 to 29? Nice, look at that. How about 30 to 39? Wow, nice, nice, nice. Wonderful. I'm going to go 40. How about 40 to 49? Any hands on over 40 years? Wow, nice. Now the centennial, 50 or more. 50 or more years. Anybody? Stand up. Stand up. We have 50 more years. There you go. All right, 2000. I do that for a reason. Training never stops. Whether you're brand new, whether you're on the job, training never stops. And it's something that if you take that with you as you go forward, you will continue to be safe. I think, and I know, firefighting is one of the most respected professions in the country. But that's an earned respect. We have to make sure that every day we come to work, we earn that respect. And by being here and being part of this training, you are learning your job and your profession to do the best you can to provide the best practices. I know that Arizona is one of the most progressive states in the United States when it comes to fire service. We have departments doing amazing things across our country, across our state, and we are so fortunate to be here in Arizona that you have the ability to take this training, take it back to your departments, train those you work with so everyone is as best as they can be to provide the best service to your community. We are so thankful that we can do this. Take advantage of the networking that you can make because we learn from each other. We are a family. We talk about fire department. We are a family. We're a family with our own department, but statewide we're a family. Across the country we're a family. And there's not too many professions that are like that. So thank you for being here. Take back as much as you possibly can from this training that you're going to get over the weekend. Be safe, network, and God bless. Take care.
Now we'll hear from Tom Torres. Tom Torres is the director of the Department of Arizona Fire and Forestry.
Hey, good morning all. Thank you for the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you and share some perspective as the director of forestry and fire. You know, one of the things that I just want to start off by saying is that our fire mission is demanding more and more of us every day. And I want to say we need all of you, we need all of us working together. I was really sort of encouraged to see the number of less tenured employees or less tenured staff here. Makes me feel good to see that folks are really stepping up to help redeem our firefighting mission and our fire mission in general. You know, whether you're actually fighting fire, whether it's structural or wildland firefighting or doing things like addressing prevention or doing things like enforcing the code, plan review, community education, that's all part of the fire mission. And I'm here to tell you that our elected officials, our citizens, and everybody else is asking more of us with regard to delivering that mission. You know, I'm going to talk about some of those increased demands from my perspective as the director. But first of all, I want to say thank you for your public service. You know, none of us are being forced to be here. You are here because you want to step up and perform that public service mission for your communities, the state, and the folks that are near and dear to you. And I appreciate that. That's not, I don't take that lightly. You know, I consider myself a public servant as well, and there's honor in that. And I want to say thank you for stepping up and assuming that responsibility in your communities. You know, I talk about increased demands from our elected officials, and as the director, I work directly for Governor Hobbs, and I want to tell you that we have a strong supporter in Governor Hobbs and the elected leaders of the Senate and the House. You know, one of the things that I'm really fortunate that I get to do is I get to work in a sort of non-political arena. And you know, you hear a lot about state budgets and the challenges there. I'm happy to say that last year's budget was really generous to our mission at DFFM, and they recognize the important work that we all do together. And so I want to say thanks to those folks who continue to provide that leadership and support. You know, one thing that we got last year in the budget was we got a $4 million allocation to help support a wildland firefighting training center in Flagstaff. And so we're working with the folks up in the Flagstaff area to get that constructed, and so that's a good thing. We were also given some additional responsibilities. There are two bills I want to mention here real quick that may garner some interest from you all. One of them is House Bill 2054. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, but it has to do with homeowners insurance. And I tell people, every time I walk into a room as the director of forestry and fire, I cannot get out of that room without hearing somebody talk about insurance. And when I walked into the lobby this morning, I heard the word insurance being tossed around. So last year, the legislature passed a bill, and Governor Hobbs signed it to stand up what's known as the Insurance Review Task Force. This is a big issue that you all probably interact with on a daily basis, and what this bill will do is it will stand up this task force to address and learn about issues related to homeowners insurance, related to wildfire, whether structural and or wildland. And so that's a pretty interesting program that's going to be started here after the first of the calendar year. I, as the director of DFFM, will be the vice chair for that task force, and I have the responsibility to ask four people to be part of that committee, and I'm going to be looking at, honestly, some of the folks in leadership from you all to help me with that. So that's one. The other one was House Bill 2201, I think it was, and that is a bill that allows and requires the utility companies and the power providers in Arizona to develop wildfire mitigation plans to address wildfire risk along their transmission and distribution corridors. I'm really grateful that the utility companies and the power providers are taking an increased interest and level of effort to address that risk. That's big. And so we're going to be kicking that, we're already kicking that off. Matter of fact, this is a new program for DFFM, and we're actually hiring 2 leadership positions to help us manage that. And so, matter of fact, I think those will be advertised here within the next couple of weeks. So if anybody has an interest in helping the state to work with the utility companies on that, keep an eye out for that opportunity. So those are 2. You know, we've also invested in technology. One of the things we're doing at DFFM is addressing increased response, initial attack to wildland fires. We're investing at DFFM in artificial intelligence cameras through the Pano company. We just signed a contract just, I don't know, maybe a month or 2 ago, and we're going to be deploying 8 AI cameras across the state in partnership largely with APS, and has many more. And the whole idea behind that is to get better response, quicker response when there's smoke in the air. And so we're really excited about that. And it's modular. We hope to carry on this idea and the opportunities for other groups and departments, et cetera, to help us get more camera coverage across the state. So that's pretty exciting. We're also almost through with construction of our new dispatch center. We dispatch statewide resources across the state out of our dispatch center off of Pinnacle Peak Road in North Phoenix. And we're a couple of months away from cutting the ribbon and having a new dispatch center to help dispatch resources from your departments and our department to be more effective. The last thing I'll mention is Governor Hobbs was really generous to us last year, and she gave our firefighters, our direct firefighters on the ground, a 15% raise. Very thankful for that because they deserve it. You know, the other thing that we're being asked to address is change in the wildland firefighting business. There was an executive order signed by President Trump just a couple of months ago that directed the Department of Interior and the Department of Agriculture, i.e. the U.S. Forest Service, to consolidate their wildland firefighting resources. That is a big task. You know, one of the things I have the opportunity to do as the state forester is represent the state along with the other state foresters across the western United States, and we've been really engaged in that process. We have some serious questions about how that's going to be implemented. For those of you who have been involved in wildland firefighting, you know that it's a well-practiced system. All systems can be improved, but we're really concerned that the things that work, and there's a lot of good things that work with our existing system, aren't thrown out and replaced with something that's not as effective. So I just want to let you all know that as a state forester, I'm your voice with the other state foresters across the western United States, and our voice is making a difference. The executive order that was released, that was signed by President Trump back in June, is significantly different than the draft executive order that was tossed around a few months earlier, and that's sort of a result of our engagement and engagement by other groups that are represented in this room. But I just want to let you know that I will continue to be your voice in that process because we want to make sure that what's working in Arizona continues to work in Arizona. The last thing I'll mention is relationships. I think Mary talked about it and Clay talked about it as well. You know, and during my career, I spent a lot of time, I'm one of those 30 plus people. And I've spent a lot of time in different states all over the West, Oregon, Washington, Colorado, and Northern California, Southern California, the last 12 years or so here in Arizona. And I'm here to tell you that one of the things we have in Arizona that I'm really proud of and I don't take for granted are the great working relationships we have between the different members of the Arizona Fire Service. It's not only the state, it's not only local departments, it's our utility companies, it's also our federal partners. And no matter what color truck you drive when you show up on an incident, whether it's red or white or green, we collectively work together to get the job done. And I don't take those relationships for granted, and neither should you. We should always preserve those relationships and work to improve those, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to help us meet that increased demand that is being placed upon us. So I want to thank you all for the time again, and wish you all the best in your efforts and getting better. Thank you.
All right, you should all be excited to hear from this next guest that we have. It's our AFCA President, Chief Jake Rhodes.
Well, good morning, and what an honor to be here. I will say we don't give enough credit to the MC for running ahead of schedule. So people on the left side of the room and the doors, I apologize for trampling you as I rushed back, knowing that we were ahead of schedule. So, as president of the Arizona Fire Chiefs Association, welcome. What an exciting event. What a full room. It's so exciting to be here and see the present and the future of the fire service. For the 52nd annual event, obviously the origination of that is near and dear to me, having spent 7 years in Kingman as the fire chief. I know that event and the impact it's had, not only on that community, but on the Arizona Fire Service. So what a wonderful honor to be here and welcome you. I would like to say a special thank you to the training committee and all the instructors. This event just doesn't happen overnight. It takes countless hours of planning, volunteer work. Clay's not making a big salary off this. I think a big fat zero. if I'm correct. So, but the volunteer time they put is tremendous. So thank you for leaning in and doing what the Arizona Fire Chiefs believes, and that is serve, lead, and develop. You're developing the future, so thank you. Another thank you to the departments and the fire chiefs that not only support the training committee members, but also the attendance of everybody in this room. Think of the overtime this weekend. Think of the back coverage. Think of the registrations. Think of all those things that go in. Think of the attendance of all the training committee members in all the volunteer and planning sessions. That's a lot, because there's not a department in this room that cannot say we're busy. We are busier than we've ever been. So thank you to the chiefs and the departments out there that support your attendance here. Over 800 of you to be here, as well as instructors and training committee. The last thanks is to each one of you. Each one of you for taking the time to lean in, master your craft, and better yourself in this profession. I've heard a lot in the last couple years of what's the future of the fire service. I think we're all experiencing retirements and losing experience and all those things. And I've heard it from senior members. Oh my goodness, we're turning this over. We're promoting too many young people. We're doing this, we're doing that. I look around this room, I look at other events like the Chief Executive Officer Program, the Battalion Chiefs Academy. There's so many opportunities in the state of Arizona that's out there. And I don't share that concern. I'm excited about our future. I'm excited about the relationships that we have with the AFDA, the PFFA, DFFA, every four-letter agency. We work very hard on that. So I'm excited about our future. So I'll say this to you. Have fun this weekend. As Clay said, don't make friends with any cops. That's bad. That's bad. But lean in. Lean into what you're doing, not only this weekend, but into the fire service. You are the present and you are the future. Thank you.
And now we'll hear from the chairman, or the president of the Arizona Fire Districts Association, Chief Danny Johnson.
So, because I am still a fireman at heart, I do have to write this out, or I will say something stupid. So, good morning. On behalf of the Arizona Fire District Association and our Executive Board, it's our honor to welcome you to the 2025 Arizona State Fire School. This annual gathering represents one of the most important opportunities we have to learn, to train, and to grow together as a fire service family. The Arizona Fire Service is built on collaboration. Whether you're a large metro, whether you're a volunteer department, or whether you're a fire district, we're united by a common mission to protect lives and property and serve the communities with courage, skill, and humility. At Fire School, that mission comes to life. We put aside the boundaries, we share the best practices, and we learn from one another, where a new recruit trains alongside a seasoned fire chief, and every participant walks away stronger. I want to take a moment to thank the State Training Committee for its tireless work for decades. Fire School has been a cornerstone of professional development in Arizona, providing critical training that strengthens our skills, sharpens our readiness, and ultimately keeps our communities safer. This year's no exception. The courses, the instructors, and the hands-on opportunities that you've assembled reflect the very best of what it means to invest in our people. In AFTA, we're also moving forward. We're working through some leadership transitions. I'm honored to serve as the president alongside our new vice president, Chief Randy Chevalier. Together, and with our executive board, we're finalizing the transition of a new executive director position. This is an important step for AFTA and strengthen its ability to serve fire districts across Arizona. This new chapter brings some stability, a fresh energy, as we continue to build a stronger future for our fire service. And during this transition, I want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that AFTA is doing in this next phase for our strategic planning. We're looking at things like strengthening our partnerships and our collaboration. We've heard partnership and collaboration by about almost every speaker that we've had today. Your AFTA leadership is working with the PFFA and the Arizona Fire Chiefs Association and your state training committee regularly to have open dialogue. We're not immune to knowing what the struggles are for our fire district partners out there. and we all take it very seriously. The other thing we're looking at is our legislative advocacy, and looking at how we're doing that. We're looking at future fire district funding models. We're looking at our partnerships in the CON process, and continuing to look at county collaboration across the state as fire districts struggle, and we look to engage our counties and our board of supervisors. We're looking to modernize communications and looking at multiple ways that we can get our message out there and support you with your message. We're looking at our structure. We're looking at how our board's made up. We're looking at our cost and our due structure, and we're looking at everything that we can do to provide a better fire service for Arizona and the fire district world. We're also looking at building our labor management process in the fire districts. We're looking at labor management summits across the state of Arizona to continue the partnerships and prepare our firefighters and prepare our fire districts. So that's just a brief update on what's going on with the Arizona Fire District Association, but obviously today is about you, and today is about the Arizona Fire Service and training each other. So my goal for you this week is not only leave here a better firefighter, but that you would leave here a better friend to each other as we work with the Arizona Fire Service together. Thank you.
All right, now we're going to hear from the Professional Firefighters Association, our president, Dan Freiberg.
All right, that's some armor shot up there. Pretty cool. I'm Chief Johnson, Danny. This is what I got. Some notes, it's mostly drawings. It's not gonna help me a whole bunch, but yeah, I mean, we've heard time and again about being grateful, being thankful. We've got a lot of great relationships, BFFA, Arizona Fire Chiefs, Arizona Fire Districts, DFFM. Unfortunately for us, we don't have the option of not being political. We have to be. We're not partisan, but we are political. And we don't make apologies for it. But before I get into that, I want to echo all the thanks that we're giving for everyone who's attending, for everyone who's spending time and ensuring you get good training up here, because that's where it all starts. We can't be effective at the Capitol. We can't be effective advocating for firefighters unless we have well-trained, well-equipped people out in the streets serving our communities every day. So a big thank you to those that we represent, the 9,000 firefighters of the PFFA who are the boots on the ground and serving our communities every day. So thank you to you guys. Another quick thank you often gets forgotten, but as I was getting ready to come up, I saw a gentleman on his hands and knees putting the wiring together, and hotel staff and event staff that's out there picking up the trash and doing all the stuff we need to do to keep this thing going. So a sincere gratitude to everybody in the hotel, the event staff, the sound engineers, and everybody else. Thank you for helping out. So again, we represent about 9,000 professional firefighters. And I recognize in this room we've got, a nice kind of mix of reserves and volunteers and fire chiefs and everything else in between. But our mission is the Arizona firefighters. That's what we're about. Every day when we show up to the Capitol, and we have 3 people there every single day while legislative session is open. Every day we show up there, we represent the Arizona Fire Service. When I meet with the governor, the Secretary of State, the Attorney General, everybody else that we meet with, on behalf of the firefighters, we never forget for 1 second that is not me in that room. That's us. If you're a firefighter, you understand this is a team sport. We cannot get anything done as individuals. It's the old adage. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we take our job seriously. Representing Arizona firefighters is the honor of my lifetime, and I never forget it whatever room I'm in. I never forget exactly who I represent. So thank you to everybody out there that's a member of our organization, and to all those that benefit from the work of the PFFA, but maybe aren't members. We're happy to help. What's the PFFA working on? Well, you know, Danny Johnson was talking about the fire district funding. That's been a massive problem. The reality is, we have a model in Arizona that's simply unsustainable. And we don't get to be Pollyannish about our approach. When we're down there, we have to have honest and frank conversations. And the reality is that if we don't do something to better fund our Arizona fire districts, something's going to give. It has to. We cannot continue to do more with less when less turns to zero. We can't. So we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep looking for opportunities to enhance fire district funding. Tier 3 pensions. How many Tier 3 pensioners are in the room? I can't see, but I assume a lot, based on how many people have less than 10 years of service. We recognize that a lot of work needs to be done on the Tier 3 pensions, but the reality is we have a lot of opponents. But we're going to keep growing. We have a plan. We introduced a bill last year that didn't get heard, but we're going to keep our foot on the gas, and we're always going to do what we can do to enhance and increase the Tier 3 pension system. We've got a really robust team. Just so you guys know, we have a state cancer claims coordinator that will help you if you have cancer. He also sits on the industrial commission as one of the 5 commissioners. We have people that represent you on the PSPRS board, the PSPRS DC board, and everything else in between, down at the Capitol. We've started a foundation. We're about to launch our first ever Arizona Firefighter Foundation. The intent of the foundation is to help Arizona firefighters. It is not a pass-through charity, it's a services charity. We've already, before we even open our doors, we've already gotten about $250,000, and we're going to help our members who are struggling with mental health, substance abuse, cancer, work comp, whatever it is, we're going to be there to help them out. To all the local leaders in the room, labor leaders, thank you. I know what a sacrifice it is that you have to make every day, and it's not easy. You know, people often ask, like, what is the PFFA? And not in a negative connotation, but trying to get a read on, like, what we do. We do statewide legislation, presumptive cancer laws, representing firefighters and their pension issues, and the fire districts, and everything else that has a statewide impact. That's what the PFFA does. But more than that, every member of our team, and we have 15 team members in the PFFA, is an active firefighter or a retired firefighter. We are us. I'm an engine captain. One of the guys on my engine is here today. I'm an engine running the 1A shift. We're not some faraway thing. We are the people serving our communities. So serving you is an absolute honor. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think it's probably important. Last week I was meeting with somebody who is an opponent of Tier 3 pension changes. And before I go too far down this road, if Mayor Freeman is still in the room, and I don't know if he is or not, but I do want to say thank you to him. Because at the League of Cities and Towns convention, about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, they made a resolution and it passed. And the resolution was that the Tier 3 pension system is perfect and they don't intend to support anything that changes it. That formalizes their opposition to us, all of us. Mayor Freeman, along with 4 or 5 other mayors, stood up and said, that's not right. That's a big deal. Having advocates and allies like Mayor Freeman is what's going to help us move the needle and get what every one of you have earned. Thank you, Mayor Freeman. So real quickly, I'll just kind of end with this. So I met with somebody last week, and it wasn't the League of Cities and Towns, it was somebody else who has real fierce opposition to us at the Capitol with Tier 3. And as I was explaining to him all the reasons why we need to make corrections, the 50-50 split, the COLA delays, the age requirement, all of the things that we know need to be changed. He had the audacity to say, well, we just want to make sure you guys have skin in the game. Those were the words. And I started laughing. We were eating lunch and I started laughing. He asked me, it was so funny. I said, you know what? To be honest, that's exactly what I would expect to hear from you. You sit in your office, at your think tank, in the air conditioner, and you drum up ways. This isn't the PFFA convention, I'd say something else. You drum up ways to screw over cops and firefighters in the state. While we're out there sweating, while we're out there working, that's what you're doing. And you're telling us we don't have skin in the game? Who here's been injured on the job? Who here suffered mental health exposures? Lost friends on the job? Every one of those, that's our skin in the game. So, we talk about deserved benefits and earned. I just want to say, as the president of the PFFA, the approach we take is you've earned all of it. We don't deserve anything. You've earned all of it. You've earned your cancer presumptions, which, by the way, we still have firefighters in the state of Arizona being denied for their presumptive cancers. I testified at the Industrial Commission 3 weeks ago about it. You've earned your cancer presumptions. You've earned your mental health services. You've earned the right to have respect and dignity when you show up to work in the halls of your fire stations. And you've earned your Tier 3 pension. That needs to be corrected. Don't ever let anybody tell you you haven't earned it. And don't let them tell you you deserve it. You don't deserve it. It's a big difference. So be proud of the work you do. Be proud of who you are. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. And enjoy all the classwork and the education you get over the next few days. Bring them back to their communities and help us help you at the Capitol. Thank you.
I'd like to thank each one of these men and women that have taken the time to be here and say a few words here today. I hope that what you've learned from this is it does take time to hear this, but there are so many good things that are happening in the state of Arizona in behalf of the Arizona Fire Service, regardless of what their rank is, regardless of what their position is in the organization is. You can see that through partnership, we're collectively working together, and what a benefit that is to the citizens of the state of Arizona. So thank each one of you for taking the time to be here. With that, we're now going to turn some time over to Chief Eric Drever. He's going to give us information about the Firefighter Foundation and the foundation to help support fire school.
Good morning, everyone. What a great morning it is, and what a great compilation of speakers coming out today to talk to everybody, and great messaging. So one thing that this kind of tells me is the fire service truly is the ultimate team sport. I mean, if you've ever played in sports, if you haven't, it just carries us forward, but this is really about teamwork, because we all work together and make things better. Arizona Firefighters Fund. We're not the Arizona Firefighters Foundation. As you can hear, we have a new foundation started, but we are the Arizona Firefighters Fund that's turned to the Arizona Community Foundation. So we're really excited for that. We're excited to hear about your foundation too, again, and where you guys are going to move forward. We've had a heck of a year in 2025. It's been very busy, and the Arizona Firefighter Fund continues to do good things. Next slide, please.
continue while they can look for my PowerPoint. I'll continue to move forward. How's that sound? Pretty good. Since 2012, the Arizona Firefighters Fund has ran 3,900 firefighters through fire school each and every year. Yeah, isn't that amazing? 30,000 firefighters have been trained since 1973, since its inception. The scholarship fund has been able to push $1.1 million since 2012 in gifted funds by our sponsors. Pretty amazing amount of money. Over 150 fire departments have participated. We have talked a lot about our state training committee and all the work that we have done, but the state training committee continues to just be an excellent organization. I'm proud to be a member of that committee and work side by side with them. We've talked a lot about our plates today. We have collected $30,000 in funds this year from our plate. We talked about the overall plate number. Any progress yet? Okay, we'll keep marching on then. Over 270 firefighters were on scholarship this year, so there's still a lot of scholarships available for everybody. When we send those emails out to Molina, we hope that everybody would get tied in and submit for a scholarship. We'd like to fund your fire department if you need help in funding training, and we can give you some reimbursement dollars out for fire school. So we'd like to make sure that we get more. I think we can do better. I think we can do over 270, but we're honored to have the 270 here this year. Starting in 2026, we know inflation's hit everybody a great deal, and we're going to raise the scholarship amount from $600 this year to $750, so we'll be going up to $750 per scholarship next year. There's our PowerPoint. We'll let it catch up a little bit. One more slide, please. We've obviously we talked a lot about the state training committee, but like I said, it's the ultimate team. We fight as a family, like we said. We work together extremely hard, and we're a very proud group that works together. And I couldn't think of a better committee that I want to be a part of than the state training committee. We obviously couldn't do this without our sponsors. I'm going to have everybody hold applause at the end. I want to hear a really resounding applause, as I'll have them all stand. But I'm going to introduce real quick our in-kind, our main sponsors that sponsor these scholarships each and every year. Next slide. Arizona Community Foundation. Sean Watt is present. Sean. Sean. APS. Tara Hanson. Scott Calcavelli and Wade Ward are present today. Thank you for your support, APS. Kemper and Ethel Marley Foundation. Kate could not make it today, but they've been an amazing supporters of ours since the inception of our firefighter fund. Pioneer Title Agency. Tom Davis is here today with us. Thank you, Tom, for being here. One of our new partners this year, the Arizona Financial Credit Union. Many of us know the credit union for many years of firefighters being part of that credit union, and we'd like to welcome them on board. Manuel Garcia and Marissa Johnson are present today. The Youth Angel Foundation, Erica and Robert Reese Foundation, they've been amazing. They've been big supporters of ours for the last few years and continue to move forward. Next, we have a new partner that came in this year, and we're honored to have them. Kira Hensley is here with us today. Thank you, Kira, from Smith Bagley Incorporated. So thank you for coming on board in last minute, and we definitely appreciate your support, Kira. Southwest Gas has a lot of folks here today. We definitely appreciate. Obviously, we know firefighters and first responders work with them. Please stand. Anyone from Southwest Gas. We respond hand in hand with them, and we appreciate your support, and we're honored to have you with us as one of our sponsors. Walter Station Brewery. Walter Station's here. Jim Erickson, the founder, and Mark Updahl. It's good to be here, and we've had a heck of a good time at Walter Station. You know, I don't go out a lot, but I've been to the Walter Station Brewery, which unfortunately isn't currently open anymore, but we had a heck of a good time. I'd like to go to the next slide over there. It was the old Phoenix Fire Station 29. But I know that Walter Station has a brew called The Turnout that is now being distributed amongst Arizona. And it's really excellent, and on the back of that's a QR code if you ever want to donate to the Arizona Firefighters Fund, gives the opportunity. But we had a heck of an event. We had our first annual chili cook-off, and we hosted it at the old Phoenix Fire Station 29, and it was a great event. And the winner of that event was one of our own, Mark Gallagher, brought the winning chili down from Flagstaff. So it was a lot of fun. Look to April of 2026. We're going to do a second event next year. Lastly, Sun Burroughs. Sun Burroughs has continued to support us. It's a family-owned business in Arizona. Excellent supporters, and we're honored to have them with us. They're really amazing family, and have been very supportive of the state training community. So now, I've heard a lot of quiet applause. Can we give a resounding applause for this? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We simply could not do this without your support. You make a huge difference in the Arizona Fire Service and firefighter training throughout the state, and making the state better, as you've heard all of our speakers talk previously. Next slide. We talked a lot about our plate. I won't belabor it too much more, but it's been a heck of an ad. I know when I drive around the state and I see the plates, it makes me pretty proud to know that we've continued to over 14,500 plates just nearly, and it's been a heck of a contributor. And again, it helps us to ensure that we have fire school for many, many years to come. We want to hit the 104th year of double what we're at there at 57. So next, I kind of was able to get through, but we have a special recognition today, and I'd like to share this with everybody from the Arizona Fire Service. Sometimes we have titans in the fire service and people that make a difference, and people that have a vision that some of us just don't have, and we don't really see it. We don't see those blind spots. So today, the Arizona State Fire Training Committee is going to proudly recognize Randy Redden for his vision and leadership in the creation of the Arizona Firefighters Fund. It's a legacy that continues to make an impact today and will for many, many years to come. Randy and his family are seated here before us today. We'd like to thank you for being here today, Randy, and talk a little bit more about you. First, I want to go through a little bit of the history of the Arizona Firefighters Fund. Early discussion started in 2004 to 2007 between Randy Redden and Polly Elson, who's here today, joining us. Polly, thank you for being here, on how we can improve the State Fire Training Committee processes and how we can make sure that we secure more funding. 2008, the State Fire Marshal's Office ended funding for fire school, and we really had to scratch our heads as State Training Committee on how are we going to take over this leadership and what's it going to look like. Some of the key changes that were put in place are class selection and priorities driven by Arizona Fire Service needs, and creation of the Arizona Center for Fire Service Excellence as a non-political, service-focused certification third-party agency. It's been an amazing endeavor. Sometimes I think people have a feeling that there's 50 people working in there, and it's Jeff and Molina in there every day, a power group of 2, and Bob Hansen, who helps direct that, but it's a really small group that does a lot of work, and we appreciate all the work move forward, and the start of that center has been a game changer for us. Next slide. 2008, Randy proposed creating a foundation to fund scholarships to rural departments, keying in on the rural Arizona firefighters that clearly would be challenged financially to come to fire school. We wanted to make sure that we could support them. 2009, the fund officially was founded with the initial $25,000 support. John Hayes and 3 corporate sponsors, and John also is here today in support of Randy and his work. And I'd like to thank John and Randy separate, please, for all their Paul and John, you guys have been here, and I know that Randy leaned on you a great deal and for your support, and it does not go unnoticed. We appreciate it. 2010 and 12, we expanded the donor network, raising $60,000 from 14 donors. In 2013, we had our first large-scale scholarship awards of 50 scholarships funded. Before that, we were doing 10 to 12, maybe 15 scholarships every year. That was just registration. Next slide. Perennial donors such as APS, Kemper Ethel Marley Foundation, and Pioneer Title have been our people that we can continue to rely on, lean on, and have their support. From 2014 onward, we've been able to put 150 to 200 scholarships funded annually. 100% of those scholarship requests are funded each year, and 100% of donations always directed to firefighter training. So, With this being said, Randy's leadership and vision laid the foundation for a sustainable scholarship program. In honor of Randy's tireless efforts and lifelong dedication to firefighter training, starting in 2026, the scholarship program will be known as the Arizona Fire School Redmond Family Scholarship. I'd like to call Randy up to present him with a plaque and allow him to have a few words. You know, Randy has been a retired fire chief from Sierra Vista. I know he's a family man. And I got to tell you, the raffle, if you remember Randy leading the raffle, it was a good time. And there was one year, he liked to bring these dice games and these things for us to play. And someone was about to win $10,000. Remember that? $10,000. And we were really sitting there going, I think someone's going to win this. And
actually, I thought I screwed it up. If anybody drew 5 of any one number, they won the amount, and it was only 6 cards for $10,000 out of 35 cards. He drew 4 of them in a row. And so now I'm thinking, I'm obligated for $10,000 because I screwed something up.
We're going to have to call the sponsors here for a little bit of increase in the sponsorships, right? But I'll tell you, the hair on my neck was standing up. It was like I was at a football game or something. The Cardinals maybe won the Super Bowl. I don't know. It was pretty exciting for sure. But Randy, your dedication and everything you put forth as a mentor and coach and all your work moving forward to us is greatly appreciated. So I'd like to present you with this plaque.
I'm going to dispel a couple rumors and kind of fix up the lies that Eric went over. The truth is, in 2008, when it fell into our lap in the middle of a training committee meeting that the state was no longer going to be associated, didn't fund nor participate, it was a huge event. And I remember being the chair of the committee at the time thinking, what are we going to do? And we started talking going through it. And it probably took us about 30 minutes before we figured out that some of the worst things in life are some of the best opportunities. And when that happened, we were able to turn things on, and the fire service now drives the direction of the certification and training in our state. And it's all because of that committee. My hat's off. The second group I want to thank are the participants, the people here that come to school that receive the scholarships and use them to be able to bring the training home and take it back to the departments. We were never able to tell our donors how many people were saved. We still can't. We don't know. But we know everybody that goes home in life safety training is able to pass that on, and the results somewhere, somehow, will save lives. So thank you to the students. Donors, thank you. And I want to tell you the smartest thing I've ever done in my life in the fire service was step aside. Eric has done so much. His approximation within the valley, his relationships with people have all taken this thing and grown it tremendously. My hat's off. Great job. And the last thing to my family is you spend almost 30 years on the committee, and every year you spend a number of 6 different times going all over the state to travel. You miss family events, and then you're here for 5, 6, 7 days. It's not easy. Every year my son's birthday seemed like it fell on sometime during fire school. But I really appreciate it. One of the last things, I think it's ironic, you talk about being a team sport. of this.
Randy, thank you, well deserved, and, you know, this is an inspiration for everybody out there to make a difference, absolutely make a difference.